Hey all, it's Cobra Wars once again, here with another figure review. Today, we are looking at Raphael from the new Rise of the TMNT cartoon. So, like the rest of the figures in the line, he has the art in the corner right there, as you can see. Again, it's there so it's easy to find on the shelf, so you can just look and see the picture Raph, pull the figure off the peg instead of having to try to see the front of the figure to see which character it is. It says Raphael the Muscles. In this version of Turtles, he is actually the leader of the group right now. A little different than normal. It's working for the show right now because it's showing that he does have leadership skills, but he lets his emotions and his anger get in the way, which right now during the show is allowing Leonardo to step up and kind of lead. So I think we're going to see a transition in the show soon, but that's kind of where they're going with him, as the turtles are different sorts of turtles. He is, I want to say, let's look at the back. He is snapping turtle is what I thought he was. So he's the biggest of the four brothers. I think they kind of went with that to show muscles, big, brute kind of attitude. He does come with the pizza points. So let's look at the back again real quick. Card shows the other figures. His bio says, as the biggest and oldest brother, Raph is a self-appointed leader of the group. He thinks he can use his fists to get himself out of any situation. But while Raph's muscles are bigger than his brain, his heart is bigger than his muscles. So, kind of, yeah, he's the big, oafish, I can punch my way out of anything kind of thing. So let's get him open. In the package, we have the booklet that has all the other figures in it, the pizza points, which you get 4 points per regular figure, so that's kind of cool. This is done, we can get rid of it. So here he is in the plastic prison still. His accessories are, he's got these red mystic tonfas so these are energy kind of fists that go over his regular fist, it looks like. He's the first one that actually has stuff underneath his name tag. So he's got the regular tonfas. He's got 2 throwing stars, which all the turtles have come with 2 throwing stars so far. I'm not a fan of the throwing stars in general, period. For any figure, maybe the foot soldiers, it makes sense. My trusty figure remover tool. Let's cut it back here. Otherwise, they're not. Okay. Oh. Why do you vex me, you little plastic prison holders? This is a lot harder than it looks like, especially when you... Give me 1 sec. So yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks like when you're trying to do it on camera. So let me remove it from camera so I can get... Raz actually proving to be the hardest one to get undone. There we go. He's out of the prison now. And let's bring in what I've been using as my figure stand so I can get a good view of the camera, which we'll get to this figure in a later review. So here is Raph out of the package. So there he is. He's got a full head bandana as his thing. He's got these nice little places that you can clip the tonfas in. It is weird seeing him without size, I'll be honest. It's weird seeing all of them with different weapons for me. I grew up in the 80s. So I'm used to the traditional weapons from the comics and the original cartoon. So there he is with his tonfas clipped to his belt. Paint-wise on the figure, he's got these red wraps, some red elbows, some white wraps on his fists. Articulation wise, he's like his brother's shoulder, elbow, and wrists. Head wise, he's a little bit hindered because of his shell. His shell sticks up because of being apparently a snapping turtle. He has this big, gnarly, pointy shell, which is awesome sculpt, but it interferes with his head turn because his face hits the back of his shell. Let me see if I can get it good. See, his face hits the back, and so he doesn't turn all the way around. He has a little bit of head tilt, not much. His plastin is molded up a little bit, so it's off his chest. They do a good job of making him look big in the figure. Especially when you bring in... Oh, no. Especially when you bring in, there's Dawn. And there's Leo. He's clearly bigger and bulkier than the others. In the show, he is a little bit taller. I mean, he is a little bit taller than the figures themselves, but overall, they're kind of the same size in figures. That's one thing that annoys me about Playmates, is that when you have a bigger figure, they scale them down instead of making them like a deluxe figure. But overall, the bulk makes up for it. I think he looks good in a similar size to the rest of them because it makes them all look a little more uniform, even though they are different turtles. So anyway, back to Raph. These red fists just slide over his hands, which is, and the tonfa just fell out of his belt. I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm not too worried about it. So they just slide over his hands because his mystic thing is like, it makes him bigger and gives him like these energy like blasts that he like surrounds himself with, and so you can put those on there and he gets these big energy hands that he can start punching people with. It's kind of a cool feature. I like it, and it plays to the theme of the show really well. So anyway, there he is with his energy fists. I like this figure. I think it looks great. I don't like the fact, though, this is one thing that does annoy me about this figure. He should be holding his tonfas like this. Can you see good light? Sorry. But he can't. He has to hold them either like this, like that, or he can hold them. That's how they're supposed to be held. Or he can hold them like a wand. So that's just the downside to the way his hands have been sculpted. Oh, sorry. My stand fell over. I am so sorry about that. Raph has always been my favorite of the turtles. So, as such, this is the figure I was looking the most forward to of the line. I do like to give him the little battle damage on the shell, the little band-aid. Paint-wise, there's not a lot of going on him that needs a lot of paint apps, so he looks great. And I do like that he's big. That's a big thing for me, his size. Really enjoying how big he is. I would definitely pick up the Turtles of this line if you were going to pick up any figures. Raph would be a high on my list, just because, like I said, he's my favorite, and I think this is a good representation of the Raph from the show. Anyway, this has been Cobra Wars with another figure review. Like and subscribe, if you would, at the bottom, and keep watching out for more videos for this series. Have a good day.